Hi there! A few days ago, I did a video all about collecting driftwood on the shores of Lake of the Woods on the Manitoba side here in Canada. And I just wanted to show you some of my finds. So I got a nice big bucket, or basket here full of what I would consider medium pieces. And then if you recognize my trusty old bucket from the beach, I do have some larger pieces here. So this is about, I would say, half of what I found, but I'm just going to do this for this video. So also, you can see I've got a lamp in progress here from that same driftwood. So it's pretty nice, actually. Really happy with that. So let's see what pieces I got here. Now, these still need to be cleaned a bit, which is why they are still in the bucket, but I wanted to show them to you today. Now, if you're anything like me, I just love driftwood. I think it's like nature's sculptures. Each piece is so unique. If you guys collect driftwood, I'd love to know what you do with yours. This one here I thought would make a nice head of a bird. Part of it anyway. Just look at like every little unique piece. Just imagine what I could do with all this. Now I know some people put driftwood in aquariums. I think a piece like this might be nice for that, actually. Personally, I just craft with it, so I don't have an aquarium, but it's definitely something I'm going to look into picking up pieces for, because I find some really big pieces like this that I think might be good for that. So if I end up selling any of my driftwood on, say, Etsy or something, it might be good for something like that, not just crafting. I just love how weathered this one is. A lot of them were really nicely bleached out. This is one of them. Oh, there's two pieces stuck together here. You can see these ones really do need to be cleaned. There's lots of little particles from the beach. But there's even a little cocoon there. So they have to be cleaned up ASAP. You don't want anything hatching in your house. So I've been keeping these outside. So when we were out there at Lake of the Woods, I tell you, the biting flies were just terrible. So my adventures on picking up driftwood were, I mean, normally it's just, it was like a beautiful day, sunny, beautiful sand, and then there were these flies that just kept biting, and they were really painful and just all over the place. So I think I really earned my driftwood that day. I mean, you find it for free, but you pay maybe an insect bites. Let me know if there's one that you see that you really like. This one I thought, you know, it's got that line all the way through it. And I've seen some people do resin inside lines like that that are really artistic. That's not something I've ever done, but maybe something to look into for the future. Oh, this one's got a nice little hole in it. It's so beautiful, and they're so soft. Amazing. Just natural art, hey? All the lines in this one. Natural wood grains. I really could have just filled a whole truck bed full of driftwood, but I had to be somewhat selective. So I tried to choose pieces that were either really unique or that had angles to it or lengths to it that I knew that I could use for different projects. So, but there was so much there. Isn't that beautiful? Like, just, it's a little sculpture all on its own, you know? How about that? All I did was pick it up. Nature did the hard work. Other than me swatting flies. And having a beautiful day walking on a beach. I mean, come on. And actually, these were picked up during my family camping trip, so it was really wonderful. I had almost all of my children together at the campsite, and some of my grandkids, so that was awesome. So yeah, these are the more dirty pieces, but once they're all nice and scrubbed up, how gorgeous will these be? Building quite a little pile here. Just look at the lines and then a knot. Really neat. Yeah, I got a lot of sand building up here. Oh, look at this one, a peekaboo stick. I play peekaboo with the kids. Peekaboo, I see you. Look through there. This one was really neat. I wasn't sure at first if it was a rock or if it was driftwood, but yeah, it's wood. Oh, here's another neat one with a knot. I just love those knots. Gives it such character, hey? Here again, if you could put some resin in it. I love these when they go like this, though, for picture frames or for mirror frames, because it's a nice corner piece. Okay, so that's the last two in my bucket. And this one looks almost like it could be, I don't know, what do you think? Some kind of animal? Maybe an elephant? I'm not sure, but he's got a little personality almost. Got little legs and kind of cute. Some of them I do just let the kids play with. This might be one, but yeah, we'll see. All right, so that's it for that. Let's dig into here. So now here again, this is so nicely bleached. Oh, I just love it. You know, like, look at the difference between the aged bleaching color and the one that's not. You know, it's almost a white and gray in some of them. So yeah, it's really neat. Nice thin one. Oh, this one's so beautiful. you guys see any that you would use for a project. Look, there's an L. An L for love. That's a neat one. This one looks like it was maybe from a root. Just the way it's all knotted up there. Look at all the beautiful colors though. Oh, this one's really neat. Yeah, this one's really unique. You can see the knots there. Look at that, eh? Like the knots have such a strength going through them, and then it's like a warp and a weft of weaving. Beautiful. Oh, and a little bit of worn birch bark. Would you call this drift bark, maybe? maybe. Got all the different patterns in there. Hope you can see that. This one's a great one. Oh, looks so rugged, like it's been in the water for 100 years. Finally washed up on shore. This too looks like it could be the head of something bird-like. And this could be a body of something when I make a bird or something. It's nice and big. Very light. This one's got a bit of bark on it, so it wouldn't be good to put it in an aquarium or something, but for many other things, it's perfect. So these will all have to be cleaned. These ones, not as much as the first bucket. These have particles on them still. These just need to be wiped down, and if they're going to go in an aquarium, my understanding is that you have to cook them in the oven. So I'll have to look into that, because as I say, I've never done that before. I'm sure many of you watching know exactly how to process them, and I do not, because I just craft with them, so I'm not really worried about any algae or whatnot that could be on them when they're going on, you know, a lamp or a mirror, or oh, look at this one. It's like a heart. I love the beach. I do. I really do. You can see over there I made a driftwood little hanger, and it says, "Life is better at the beach." Isn't it though? I actually made that one of the days I was supposed to go to the beach and wasn't able to because it was pouring rain and thunderstorming. So I needed to feel a little beachy, so I made that. Another peekaboo stick. And anybody that really gets into crafting with driftwood will understand when I say this may seem like a lot, and it is. You know, it was a really good pick, but it goes so fast when you craft with it, like, especially when you need some pieces that are really specific. I also have a bin of littles. This one's neat. It's got a hole there and a hole here, so it could be hung up. But yeah, I use the littles, so technically actually this probably should have been in the littles. And then if I'm making something where I have a screw hole, I'll put this over top of it and glue it, so it will, you know, cover it. Or if I need to, sometimes excuse me, when you attach, you know, two pieces and there's a bit of a gap in the transition, and then you'll put this there so that it covers that up, makes it look, you know, more continuity continual. The transition is nicer. Look at that. And this one is so smooth. So yeah, I'm gonna grab a brush and clean these up. I'm noticing as I go through, a few of them are a little bit more in need of cleaning than I had thought. Yeah, look at the beautiful just weathering of this. You know, it's so sun bleached. You know, that's all natural. If you compare, like, look at the difference. So yeah, I was really delighted to find these. And again, some of them are just so smooth. But yeah, as I'm looking through this, I'm realizing some of them really are a little bit more in need of cleaning than I had initially thought them to be, but that's okay. Sitting and cleaning driftwood, hey. Sounds like a good thing to pass the time. It's almost a peekaboo stick. Almost looks like it could be an eyeball. Or like a whole eye. Or a leaf on something. Wouldn't that be nice? Like a leaf? It's pretty. This almost looks like a leg. Who knows what they will become, hey? That's just the magic in it. Oh, look at this beautiful weathering. A lot of these almost remind me of rib bones, like just the way that they're shaped. I wonder if I could use them to make like a rib cage of like a horse or something, and then add more pieces to make the whole body. Look at that. We've barely touched the surface of it. I hope you guys are liking this video to show all the neat little pieces I found. They had a bunch of little tiny white snail shells on the beach too, but you know, with those flies biting, I just, yeah, I couldn't sit there and really pick long enough like I normally would. I've never experienced something like that. Put that in that pile. I used some tea tree oil, and that seemed to keep them at bay a tiny bit, but no, there were thousands, so what can you do? And then all of a sudden on the beach, it got to be like, I'm not even kidding, there were thousands in the air of these beautiful dragonflies just all of a sudden. And I'll insert a little video of that at the end, actually, because it was amazing. Like, just thousands. And my little granddaughter was on the beach playing, and they were flying up above her head. And of course, dragonflies are my spirit animal. Just adore them. To me, they always make me happy when I see them. Well, plus I live in Manitoba and they eat mosquitoes, so how can you argue with that? Eh? Though these biting flies made mosquitoes look almost welcome. When we got to nighttime where it was a little bit more breezy and cold, all of a sudden the flies disappeared and the mosquitoes came out. And yeah, it was a relief, actually. So imagine that. Now, I grew up on Lake of the Woods, though I grew up on the Ontario side. So I've actually never been to Lake of the Woods in Manitoba, so this is a first for me. And yeah, it was quite different, actually. Some similarities, but the plants were a bit different. And well, on this beach that we were at, there was sand up to, you know, where the water came, and then a little bit of sand in the water, but mostly it was rocks and mud, and that means leeches. So we didn't do a whole lot of swimming. So that was kind of a disappointment. But, you know, you take the good and the bad. And you take some driftwood. Look at this one. It reminds me of a seagull. Or what are those, the birds, Jurassic bird, pteranodon? I don't know. That's pretty neat, though. I guess maybe if you do it this way. I don't know. What do you guys think? What could that be? Yeah. Now, I still have a whole bin of like really long sticks of driftwood, and then the small driftwoods. And then I have a few that are like really big. And my daughter, Ruby, she found me one that's huge, and I think it's my favorite piece ever. I just couldn't believe it when she came back from her walk and she says, "Oh, look what I found." And I was so jealous. I was like, oh my gosh, of course you'd go for a walk and you find this beautiful piece. And then I thought, well, you know, she takes after her mom. I taught her well. And then she gave it to me. And it was just such a lovely gift. I couldn't believe it. So grateful. Look at this. I can almost see the bottom. Love that in there, hey? So much character. And the different coloring on that. Beautiful. And this one. He's pretty rugged. Now, we had a campfire at night, and the wood that we had bought and brought with us, for some reason, wasn't lighting very well. And my son-in-law made a comment, oh, well, let's just use Nikki's driftwood. Yeah. Funny joke. That didn't end up happening. Though he did go down to the water and find his own driftwood. And in the morning, I looked through his pile of leftover driftwood in the bucket, and I found 2 really nice pieces that I ended up bringing home. So, look at this one, so pretty. Like, not only the coloring, but just the aging and weathering. Beautiful. of like looking at clouds, you know? You look at a cloud and you're like, oh, I see an elephant or a horse or a castle. You know, you look at driftwood, what do you see? Maybe an angel's wing on this one. No? Look at the beautiful patterns. I'll put that one in there. Do we want to go through this whole thing? There's some that are really just so smooth. You know, worry stones? You have a worry stone, you could have a worry stick. Oh, this one. Beautiful. This one looks like an antler. So the kids were running around with it, pretending to be a deer. There was one other one that they had. It might have been this one, actually. Yeah, I think, yeah, that was it. So, that was fun. Maybe I'll just put these in here and just kind of show you a bit in here. I mean, each one is beautiful and unique. Oh, what? Do you see that? It looks like an S is carved into it. Oh, S. See that? Funny. One of my daughter's names is Sky. Maybe that's an S for Sky. Here's a funny little one. Looks a bit like a pipe. An old man's pipe. Well, I'm going to really enjoy crafting with this and showing you what these all become, because you never know. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, this one's maybe like a fishtail. You know, if I made a fish and that was the end piece for the tail. See it over here, maybe. Ooh, it's a fish. So yeah, these are my kind of medium pieces. Oops, dropped something there. Each one just beautiful. I don't want the video to drag on too long, so I guess I'll leave it at that. Oh, and now I'm throwing driftwood, so you know. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and my cat's going after it. Yeah, so thank you for joining me for this. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you saw some pieces that really piqued your interest. If you love driftwood, I'm sure you found some pieces you really liked. If you have any ideas for any pieces, let me know. Oh, yeah, this one's beautiful with this. So it's got like the worm writing, worm art. So in the next few days I'll be cleaning these up and start crafting with them. Oh yeah, so some of these as well are going to end up, I should say, this one in particular is what reminded me of it, in succulent garden pots. So yeah, just as kind of a little extra accessory. So that should be beautiful. Let's see if there's any others in here that are, oh look, there's Ash. Ashanti, do you like driftwood? Yeah? And maybe I'll finish off by showing you just one piece that I made. I do make shadow boxes. So this one is my different colored stones from all the years of collecting stones. So there's BC stones, there's stones from Florida, from here in Manitoba. Lots of things there. And of course some shell art. Here I collected lighter stones and darker stones. That was really fun, but this is the one I want to show you. Oh, I'm getting a reflection. That's okay, because guess what? This one opens. So these are all some of my really unique favorite pieces of driftwood. And this one actually came from this trip. So I took out a piece that I didn't like as much and I replaced it with that. So I'm really happy with it. And I think the shadow box is pretty much done. So, do you see any in there that you like? This one's really worm-arted, which I just love. Oh, and look at this guy. I don't know if you recognize him from another video we did in Gimli. But he's a little piece of driftwood that looks like a goat. He's one of my favorites. So yeah, that's something that you can make out of driftwood. Oh. Yeah, kind of a fun project. Different things you can do with nature. So I hope you enjoyed that. So Ashanti and I are going to say goodbye. Oh yeah, and I did find, some sea glass while I was there. Can't tell you which pieces I found from there. Actually, I do know one, but I'd have to fish it out of there. But I just put them all together. Where I live, there's just not a lot of sea glass, so finding it's a bit rare. But yeah, enjoy that. I'm gonna keep working on my lamp. Oh yeah, I have to show you the top here, where the finial is. Look at that. I found a piece that fits perfectly on the finial. So yeah, lots of fun. Okay, thanks guys. Thanks for joining us, and yeah, leave me a hello, and maybe a like would be great if you like this video, and subscribe to see more in the future. Okay, thanks. Bye.